The skies over Arcadia Prime burned orange with victory flares. Across the shattered capital, banners of the Asari Dominion fluttered in the toxic wind, each one proclaiming the end of human resistance. For 6 months, the Dominion's legions had laid siege to the last Terran holdouts. Every district had been scoured, every fortress breached, every transmission silenced. At dawn, Arch-Warlord Sarek descended to the planet's surface, flanked by honor guards in gleaming exoplate. His armored boots crunched over the blackened ruins of a once great city. With each step, he felt the thrill of conquest pulsing in his heart. "Transmit to all sectors," he ordered, voice resonant through the command channel. "Arcadia Prime is secure. Humanity's defenders are extinguished." From orbit, Dominion ships relayed the proclamation to the greater fleet. Cheers erupted across 100 decks as Asari soldiers embraced and roared their triumph. In the plazas below, Dominion banners were unfurled atop the skeletal remains of Earth's final planetary garrison. And for a moment, it was true. Humanity's voice had fallen silent. But Sarek failed to notice the glint of objects in the upper atmosphere, tiny sparks against the morning light. High above Arcadia Prime, in the black between stars, the UNS Resolute drifted in silent orbit. Its hull was pitted and scorched from a dozen battles, but its systems remained intact. Within its cavernous bays, ranks of Terran shock troopers waited in darkness, each encased in a drop pod the color of midnight. Major Kiera Hale stood on the deployment gantry, helmet cradled under her arm, as final check scrolled across her visor feed. Her pulse was steady, her breathing slow. This was why they had endured, why they had hidden in sensor shadows for weeks, conserving power, waiting for the enemy to believe they had won. "All units, confirm readiness," she called. Her command staff responded as one. "Alpha Platoon, ready. Bravo Platoon, ready. Charlie Platoon, ready." Hale slid her helmet into place. The seals locked with a hiss. "Deploy." The gantry lights shifted from red to white. Hydraulic clamps disengaged, and the first row of drop pods accelerated down the launch rails. One by one, hundreds of pods shot into the void, trailing faint ion contrails as they pierced the planet's thin exosphere. Down below, Sarek's sub-commanders received fragmented reports, unidentified re-entries, scattered contacts on the horizon. "Atmospheric debris," one officer insisted. "Remnants of their fleet." He never finished the sentence. The first drop pod impacted the plaza with a seismic concussion. Reinforced plasteel petals burst open, revealing a Terran shock trooper clad in black assault armor. In a fluid motion, the trooper raised a heavy pulse rifle and swept the nearest line of Asari soldiers with disciplined bursts. Another pod struck an adjacent boulevard, then another. Within seconds, the air filled with contrails and fire. Shock troopers emerged in squads, advancing with grim purpose. Sarek's eyes went wide. This wasn't debris. It wasn't the detritus of defeat. It was an invasion. "Bring up suppression fields," he bellowed. "Engage all units, wipe them out." But the Dominion formations had grown complacent. They'd clustered for celebration, not defense. Troopers scrambled to unholster weapons as the humans moved among them like wraiths, cutting through panicked lines with methodical precision. A shock trooper vaulted the ruins of a transport hauler and landed atop a Dominion command squad, his pulse blade flashing. Another fired a micro-missile into a Asari heavy cannon emplacement, shattering it in a bloom of white plasma. Above, dozens more pods streaked toward the surface. On the bridge of the Resolute, the captain watched the tactical feeds with grim satisfaction. "They thought they broke us," he murmured. "They thought wrong." As more Dominion officers attempted to regroup, Major Hale's voice crackled across all comm channels. "Arcadia Prime was never yours. You've occupied Ashes and called it victory. But humanity does not yield." She advanced through the smoke, her squad at her side. The Dominion banners that had fluttered in triumph now lay trampled in the dust. Sarek rallied what remained of his honor guard, igniting his plasma halberd with a furious howl. He charged through the chaos, determined to cut down the Terran commander himself. Hale met him without hesitation. Their weapons clashed in a storm of sparks. Around them, the battle turned against the Dominion by the minute. Every new wave of drop pods brought fresh reinforcements. The Asari formations fractured under the coordinated strikes, their morale dissolving in the face of humanity's unrelenting counterattack. Sarek swung again, but Hale sidestepped and drove her pulse blade into a gap in his armor. The arch-warlord staggered, clutching at the mortal wound. His eyes fixed on the drop pods still falling from the sky, like judgment descending from heaven. He realized, too late, that victory had never been theirs. Hale withdrew the blade and let him collapse. She surveyed the plaza as more Terran troops secured the perimeter. Dominion soldiers threw down weapons and raised trembling hands. In the end, the final message to the fleet was a simple one. "This world is reclaimed," Hale transmitted. "Tell your masters, humanity endures." As the sun climbed over Arcadia Prime's broken skyline, the sky was alive with falling drop pods, silent and inexorable, like the will of an entire species refusing extinction.